Okay, I'll read it. Okay, so a person observes from point A the angle of elevation. So once again, this is an angle of elevation because it's the angle between the horizontal line and going up to an object is 30 degrees. And then the angle of elevation to the top of a cliff is 45 degrees. So this is another angle of elevation. The height of the cliff is 80 meters. So which part of the triangle would be labeled as 80? The height.
Isn't that DC?
DC. This is 80, okay? Because it's going from the bottom, so the ground, to the top. This is the cliff. It's 80 meters high. All they're asking is to find the distance between A and B. We need to know the distance from here to here, but that is not part of a right angle triangle, right? So let's use the two right angle triangles so that we can use SOHCAHTOA. Because you can only use SOHCAHTOA, you can only use the primary trig ratios when you have a right angle triangle. So what are my two right angle triangles? I have two. What are they? Sorry? A, ABC is not a right angle triangle. Here's the right angle, so they should all use C. ADC and BDC. Do you guys see that? I have ADC and I have BDC. Those are the two right angle triangles, so label them now. Angle A. What's the measure of angle A? 30 degrees. What's the measure of angle B? 45 degrees. And we know the length of DC is what? So this is 80 and this is 80. We needed to find out the length of AB. So if I find the length of AC, the whole thing, let's call that X, and then we find out the length of BC, let's call that Y, can we find out what's missing? If we know the whole thing and we know a piece of it, can we find the distance of AB? Subtract at the end, okay? So find X. So again, always start by labeling your triangle. In relation to this angle, is 80 opposite or adjacent or hypotenuse? Where is DC located in relation to angle A? Okay, and where is X located? Okay, let's do the second triangle. Again, opposite and... So which ratio are we going to be using? 10 is the only ratio that uses opposite and adjacent. So 10, 30 degrees, let's do the first triangle, is equal to opposite over adjacent. What's the side opposite, Dylan? 80, good. Over adjacent is, well, let's do the first one. Okay. Cross multiply. Tan 30 times x is written as tan 30x, right, times x, and then 1 times 80. How do I isolate x? What do I have to divide by? Each side tan 30, good. Divide this by tan 30. So you're taking 80 and you're dividing it by tan 30. What do you get? 138.6 meters is the measure of AC, the whole thing is 138.6 meters. Now let's do the same thing for the second triangle. It's also opposite and adjacent, so which ratio? So tan 45 degrees is equal to 80 over y this time. Same thing, cross multiply. What do I need to do to both sides, Nathan? Divide by
10, 45.
Good. Divide this side by tan 45, and y is equal to, what did you get for this one? 80 meters. Okay, so the whole thing is 138.6 meters, and this little part here is 80 meters. How do I find out AB, which is what the question asked? We know the whole thing. We need to cut out a part of it to get the remaining part. So what operation do I have to do? Subtract the whole thing. Subtract 80 from, we're taking this out. What are we left with? 58.6 meters. So the distance between A and B from here to here is 58.6 meters.